Hey ho, welcome to a little guide for EVE Online. In this video, I'm talking about hunting, finding content, how do I find content, about what websites I'm using. I'm also using a program, which I'm gonna explain in this video, and also going over some fits of some fittings. I will also make a second part of the video. Also a second part where I'm just going over when you are in the actual system. And the reason is why I'm doing this is because I want to share some knowledge about how I'm doing the stuff. And just a little disclaimer, there are definitely guys who are way better than me in this game and who are way better experts and have a certain infrastructure up, so like blue scouting, back probing, alts that are scanning wormholes down and stuff like that. I'm just using at the moment a single account and don't have the spy infrastructure up or anything, so yeah. I am doing the video for people that want to get started into PvP or maybe some newer organization where the Corp CO or FC wants to go for targets or stuff like that. And yeah, I want to give them an like all-in-one tutorial how I'm doing it. Um, how I'm doing it, so it's getting an easier way. The all-in-one tutorial is like split it into parts, like I mentioned before. And I also want to increase the demand side in EVE Online. I mean, if more stuff is dying, then people are going more out to mine and trying to rebuild the ships that are getting lost, and so the cycle of life in EVE Online is going more into movement and movement, and I actually want to see more stuff dying in EVE Online. Sorry, it's just in my DNA. I can't do anything against it. And for that, I'm making this little video. I'm using two kind of free websites. One is Enter Program. Also, um, um, those free websites are pretty obvious. And wait, one thing. Yeah, those three websites are pretty much common and known, and I'm just showing you a way how to use them. And also another program which is which I'm gonna link in the video description. This is also linking to another dude who made a program. It's basically for everybody free. You can download it, and it's also gonna improve your quality of life in EVE as a crabber, but also as a hunter. And we will go over that stuff in the video. So I would say let's get started. Dum-dum-dum. So, the first page I'm gonna show you is this little page. It's called Thera Wormhole Map. In my case, I'm living in Fate, and I want to go roaming and showing up everywhere on the map. So I'm gonna use this website. This website is made by a corporation. It's called Signal Cartel. This corporation is living in Terra. What does that mean? What is Terra? Terra is a wormhole um, system which has NPC station in it and also has a lot of connections in all over the world of EVE Online. And you see those entrances and exits like very nice spreaded. It's not all bookmarked or stuff like that. But a lot of wormholes are bookmarked and they relatively nicely keeping it up. And the cool thing about this is you can take it and then you can show up down there. Down here, down here, down here. So in my case, I'm living in C4C, for example. I'm just hoping, is it gonna be here? it's still up for less than 26 minutes. So how I'm using it, I'm living in C4C. Um, so I can then start planning. So like, okay, I'm here in Deckline. I can then start looking at certain regions. In my case, I want to go roam, roaming around in Fetterbolles and stuff. Also a little disclaimer, Terra is known to everybody. Also this website is not a big secret. So the guys in Paragon Falls know it, the guys in Mencia know it, the guys in Fetterbolles know it, and also in Terra are living some entities. So um, what I mean is just be a bit careful when you're using it. It might turn against you. So the guys in Terra living that can kill you, or maybe the guys in Paragon Falls or whatever, know that you're coming and then forming relatively fast. But nevertheless, this is like in my experience, it's not gonna happen a lot. But just have that in mind. So what you can do is from the place you're starting, you can type in the system from where you're starting. And this is how I'm doing it, like just in my case it's 6 jumps from Deckline. Um, also the closest one is Deckline with 6 jumps. So I would then set destination, and therefore I'm living in a null block is like it's very nice because I have also something called unsublexes, OP structures I would say. And then I have even to do less jumps. But you can also start from Jita. It's also, if you are a complete new organization, then you can maybe take the one in Metropolis. Down here, it's the one in On here. Oh, okay. Then what was the second one if you start from Jita? The one in Genesis, Eagle. Then you can check here. In Genesis, Eagle, 15 hours, that's fine. Problematic is gonna be like less than 4 hours. But if you want to risk it, you can go for it. But this is how I'm finding my connections or entrances to Terra. It's not a big secret. You can use it as a turbo crab, as a highway system. Um, but again, be careful about it. And this is the stuff. So I now decided, for example, I'm using the Deckline hole and I want to show up in Paragon Falls. So I click here on also here on Paragon Falls, and then you see the Sig also if you want to go in Deckline, there's an in-game folder up. It's called Terra bookmark, also Eve Scout Terra bookmark folder. You can find it here. It's this one. You can just ask for the bookmark folder. Some people are gonna send it to you. Also that's how I got it. I don't even know how to get it from our official in-game channel or stuff like that. Maybe you get it from the corporation. 1 second. I actually need to Terra bookmark. Ah, here we go. You can get it from the corporation. Just Eve Scout, Eve Enclave, then you see Signal Cartel. And then you can find it here. Just write in here Signal Cartel. And then you get it. I just found it out live on video. Yeah. And what it's telling you is this is the SIG2 Terra. So if I would now go into the system, also I'm connected to the folder, I would right click in space and then find it. And if I want to exit the thingy in Paragon Faults, I would take right click in space and then uh, warp to this signature. So SIG from Terra is the inside Terra SIG, and SIG to Terra is the one when you are in outside in known space. And now I decided to go to Paragon Falls, and the second page I'm gonna use is Dotlan. Dotlan is a bit of it's not a old school one, but it is an older one website. It's there forever. And it's a very, very nice page. This is a direct link to Paragon Falls. You can also exit it by just clicking here, or you type in Paragon. Uh, Paragon. Hey, or you can just type in here here Paragon Falls. Uh, how do I get the dark mode? By the way, you can also click here. Ooh, dark. Ooh, dark. um, and then you can click over here, and then you see stuff like what is this? But with this link from the website, it's also automatically marking the system. So this is just the deltas. Here we go. Sometimes you have to click on update and it's updating the deltas. So what is the delta? Delta is something like the rats killed in the system that are killed in the systems. Why not using the 24-hour thing? Because it's over a time of 24 hours. And somebody could kill like, I don't know, 40 million uh, rats in the last 24 hours, also like in 13 hours ago, and you're just roaming into the system and there's nothing going on. So take the NPC kills delta. I don't know the exact time frame when it's going on. I think it's the 20 minutes ticks, but you have to go closer for that. But I know when I'm using that I'm usually finding targets. And so I would now come out into this area, like this. And how do I now utilizing it? I know in those systems that there's stuff going on. So I'm starting to set destinations, and the way how I'm setting destinations faster is when I'm typing them in and I'm marking them, and then I can just show them as some solar system. So what I mean is like BEG tag RL, for example. I can just BEG tag, and then you can just autolink solar system, and then you see it here, the system in Paragon Falls. Then you can just, for example, take a look at HB tag K, then HB tag K, and then you can just mark it and like this, and then you have the system. The reason why I'm doing this, we will soonly talk about it. Sorry for the big window, by the way. A bit unprofessional. Um, the reason is you don't have to like I don't know K tag 3P QVW if you know go in K tag P 3 here. Look at this. You see in this you're not finding it. But if you're just typing it in like here and then you making a solar KTag KTag 3P. Sorry, I'm a retard. Then you also see it here, but then you have to drag it in. And the cool thing is, if something is getting too complicated, some complicated name, you can just make it shorter. Like if you're setting destinations, like 4 tag M, M1T, 4 tag M, and then you just copy it, solar system, and then you have it like here. It's going a bit faster, but then just searching on it, then search for anything, then you get corp names and stuff like that. Here you can sort it a bit. And you can also give destinations like for your roaming mates, for your scouts, if you are the FC or if you are soloing them, you can put them in there. Yeah. Another way to find content is, also, I mean, that sounds all good and that sounds all very nice. Another thing what you can do is if you look in those systems, is you can look at the also rating index, yeah, blah blah, but you can also search for the industry index. Industry index means mining. To say it absolutely simple, this is how the stuff is going on. It doesn't matter if ice or ore mining, the index is going up. If the index is going up, you know that there's some that there's some mining activity going on. And the cool thing is, what you can do is you can check on Dotlan all the systems where ice mining is going on. Those are marked with this blue circle around the system name. And then you can check it like TDP, TDP, and then Autolink solar system. And then you can check, okay, there's not any ice mining going on. This is why you need the sovereignty thingy in it. I don't know a website or stuff that is showing that specific thingy. But then you can, for example, go to B9, B9, also B9N, B9N, Autolink solar system, and then you can check it here. There's not much mining activity going on. And then you can check it also from before you even start roaming certain systems, and you can mark them as interesting, and then you can go there. Maybe SR tag 1, SR tag 1 might also be a nice system for ice mining. There we go. There's might be some ice mining going on if you want to go check, or general mining. I mean, you can combine that with spy activity and stuff, like, oh, in the system there's this and this going on, there's mining going on. If you have a spy character, you can put it into the alliance, and then you even know the exact moon or stuff like that. And then you can go for actual then you have the moon and then you have a much, much easier time. But this is how I'm finding targets. So I'm looking on Dotlan, then you can go there on and then you look on deltas, then you type in the system, and then you can check over it, HB tag K, HB tag K, and then HB tag K. And then you see, oh, there might also be some mining going on and threading. Might be some targets. But remember, um, those nullsec guys living there are also guys when you are showing up through Terra and not only through Terra, but when you show up in their Intel channel, then they might gonna form something and hunt you. I mean, versus every playstyle, there's also another playstyle to counter, like hunting the hunters and stuff. And don't forget, those people have always the home advantage because they're living there sometimes for years and stuff, and they have definitely ships. And always have that in mind. But yeah, always keep out and doing stuff. Another way to find content is when you look at the number of jumps. Then you see there's a lot of activity going out from that system. And then you can maybe start installing a gate camp there, so like with an interdictor or anchoring a bubble or stuff, whatever. But be careful about it. This is the main staging of Fort, for example. If you're placing here a bubble, then they might come over and kill it. But if you have a bigger gang, or maybe that is log off in the system or stuff like that, then you can maybe counter those guys. It's also depending on the numbers you're bringing. If you're a small dude, I wouldn't consider doing a gate camp. Maybe with a cloaky dictor or stuff like that, which you can fuck off very easily. Um, and then with your like 2 or 3 dudes, if you really want to do that, if you have a bigger fleet and stuff, then you might want to take them head on or try to lure them into some ESS stuff and then kill them there. But be careful, those dudes, also Pandemic Horde, they tend to overblob you. Also goons, and if you're going to C4C, also you're not getting turbo blob there, but your defender is always bringing more stuff or high quality stuff, and especially nullsec. So I personally prefer a mobile playstyle to go here. Then they might get aren't getting interested anymore. And also remember they have also unsublexes, so be a bit careful about that. And yeah, do some stuff. And then the third website I'm gonna show you. Um, this is the stuff I'm using. I explained Dotlan. This is also a Dotlan, but in another fashion. If I'm making the website a bit bigger. The cool thing about it, it's called SMT. And what you can do is it does show your character in system. And when you are undock, and when you are undocking, for example, and then and you're changing system like this. 1 second. It's also updating very, very shortly. For achieving that, you need to put in your ESI into the character, and you see here it's updating in real time. And it's very, very nice when you're navigating around and you lose yourself. It's also showing you the ice belts. I just customized it. You're gonna do this that practically like customizing on your own. I'm just showing you some advantages of that system because you have to figure out some stuff on your own. And the cool thing you can also do is can click here, for example, preferences, and then you can also show negative deltas. And the cool thing is, you see here then, for example, it's green, then the deltas is going up. And also one very cool way is, it does also show the unsublexes, but you have to edit them in manually. Dotlan does that also, by the way, but you have to do some more complicated stuff. And the cool thing also why I'm really, really liking it is you can set destination. It's taking a second and you saw in the background that it changed the destination. Also that it automatically put it in the destination. So when I want to hunt in my own space, I'm a dirty A-Boxer, then you can set destinations over here. By the way, you can also use that to defend. And you also see here a set killboard thingy from the region. But yeah, it's also including jump bridges if you mark them in. And it's also showing that the delta is going up like massively over here. And then you can also then check if you want to check for ice belts, for example. Then you can just set destination over here and then show info and then the same game as before. I'm just AVOXing at the moment my own space, so I'm gonna remove the waypoint. Uh, yeah, it's editing the stuff in as a jump bridge and then you also clear route, so let's go hunt in horde space, at least in the theory. And what you see also here is then uh, yeah, also very, very, very nice. You see here the activity. 1 second. I can Alliance Guardians of Tranquility in which system, show system, and then you can just right click over here, for example. And see, oh, there's a Wetmark that died here, and then you can open on that killboard, for example, and then you can see what did killed him. And maybe go for it if you are hunting around. And yeah, you see here deltas going up, deltas, deltas, deltas. The red ones are negative, so I think those might be some well, some other activities. It doesn't show the sovereignty index with um, with also with the mining thingy. It's a bit sad. But negative in delta doesn't indicate mining. Uh, uh, I mean, this is a rating delta, so you have to check it like for mining, you have to check it like this. Sorry, this is OBS. This is SNT, and this is ETH, and this is SNT. And then you can just clear the route, and then it's also clearing in game, by the way. And you can here active also your character, and then you can just click here and auto follow your character, then you're swapping back to your character. This is the Intel channel. What I heard is that you can, also I didn't use it like that, but I think you can also edit a character in and then have the Intel channel from the enemy, but I need to try that out. I will put a little disclaimer like into the video description where I'm just commenting on it and say if it's working or not. But yeah, for people that are asking how you can put in here on the general, you can exactly here show negative delta, and you can put that off. Then you see it in the colors like I am, because I don't care about the soft or stuff, or coalitions or politicians and stuff. And yeah, did I forgot something? You can also use that killboard, by the way, if you search, also on Dotlan, for example, you can then search for certain systems where a lot of stuff is dying, and then you can take on that killboard a closer look. You can also go to this system, for example, or P3EN or LXQ or stuff. But remember, the people are living there are usually a bit in the blobby mentality. And yeah, uh, one little thing I maybe need to mention is if the deltas are going up like crazy. Um, also you can search here also in different regions. Like, is there something going on over in, I don't know, Esoteria? Esoteria, you can also type in certain systems and stuff. I'm just a bit retarded. Alphabet. Yeah, and then you can check here, for example. But I would honestly combine that with Thera. Always combining your tools and stuff like that. Um, and also update Thera, for example. This hole is now off and stuff like that. And yeah, I think this is now, for example, this one is pretty fresh in curse. Just went up. And yeah, I think that's with I think this is now for the enough, also with the websites part. And I'm gonna make some timestamps, by the way. And now we're talking about some ships. It's just you can go hunting with every ship. Basically, you can go hunting with a battleship, battle cruiser. Mm, even with a capital. But I don't recommend it. Also with battleships and stuff and whatever. There are ships that are specially suited for that, and we will just go over some stuff. I just put it in some example ships. It's not you can use other ships as well. I just put it some ships where in my mind on one ship we can discuss, on the Jector we will discuss a bit further, because you can use a Hecate for that as well, or whatever. Um, First things first, interceptors. I have here two interceptors. I'm just going a bit um, like a bit short and in a quickie way over it. Interceptors have a bonus to warp speed, a really low signature, and really high speed. What does that mean? With the fast warp speed, you can travel around really fast through systems. If you want to go hunting, you can exchange the EM rig with an hyperspatial thingy, but then you have really bad EM and thermal resistance. So it's personal preference. You can put an attack to hyperspatial. I want to have a little bit of more tank, even if I'm getting a bit more um, signature. The reason is is with the fast AU warp speed and also your aligning really, really fast, is that you travel through systems really fast and that you are with your increased warp speed, you are, when you descan hunt a target, you are also really fast on it. And the cool thing is also you have a really big point range. I have Interceptor on 5, don't worry about the bad cap skills. On Python it's in like 13 minutes, so I'm getting that up anyway. But I just skilled the Stiletto to 5, and I also recommended it to get the Interceptor skill up on 5 because you see the bonus here. A 15% reduction in micro warp drive radius penalty, so that the penalty of this micro warp drive thingy, if you look over here, it's maximum velocity bonus signature. It's only at 100% instead of 112 instead of like on other Tech 1 frigates, for example, like if you just simulate it, like, I don't know, just taking this, for example, add a micro warp drive, restraint one, but you see here, wait 1 second. Maximum velocity bonus, it's here, signature radius modifier. But what I wanted to say is that this stuff is enabling you to hold down a very long a target. You have to be careful. Sometimes Ishtar drones are a bit not nice to you, and you have to manually pilot around the target. And when you have it on 5, then you have a 30-kilometer point range with a Tech 2 thingy. You can cheaply abyssal those modules with cheap abyssals. It's a little investment, but definitely worth it. I can definitely recommend it to get it up for the Interceptor. The cheap Muta Plus meets. It's a nice thing to improve your fit, and you actually, if you're doing right, you don't survive. You don't you survive actually very very long on the grid. Because if you're not fucking it up, you can hold down also marauders if they are shit fitted very very easily. They don't track you, and with a bit of pimp point, um, you have even more point range, and then you can stay at further away, like heated, till your gang is coming in and kill the marauder. And especially you can then stay out of the neutralizer range. If he doesn't have a blinky neutralizer fitted, then you have an easy time to hold him down, even he has a heavy nude. One thing you have to be really, really careful is when he's trying to MJD and you want to go in for a drive-by scram and he has a grappler fitted or a scram or whatever. Always be really, really, really careful. And I mean, look at this, like, even if you bling it like a bit, and then you can bling it like, with, what was it? The cheap one, then you can compare it. Compare for price, 30 million, 30 million, 30 million, signature radius, modifier, federation. Federation one is worse than the restraint. Then you can, okay, this one is more expensive, but you can go with the Corelli. A-type and you still have a pretty decent ship, you are completely cap stable even with my garbage skills, and you have even a lower signature radius. Where it comes into place with skirmish links, then it's even going smaller. But yeah, the second interceptor is then just a malediction. Same game as before with blinking stuff. Um, the cool thing about the mallet is it has a bit less signature radius, which I can also, which is also really nice. What was the thingy again? Currently A-type. You can maybe set buy orders and get them cheaper, and then abyssal those other two modules. Then you get a really nice and interceptor for less than 100 million, and I can definitely recommend it. And the cool thing about the mallet is the signature radius, which is going even a bit smaller. You are a bit slower, um, but you have also okayish buffer, and you have a self-wrap. And the self-wrap is enabling you to even stay longer on grid. Um, you can prefer both. Interceptors, Ares, and Crow, I don't know. It has a reason. You can use both. Uh, you can use the other interceptors as well, but Stiletto and Malediction are a bit better. I can definitely recommend them because Ares is what was the difference? I think it was the what was the difference? Think a bit the resist, or what was it again? Need to check it out. But whatever. The crow I wouldn't use at all because you don't have so much low slots and you need them. You can make a nice light missile crow or stuff out of it for some other shenanigans. The second ship, what I would also use, but also use is it's also a bit different. The cool thing about tech-free destroyers have a nice bonus for fitting those probe launchers, and when you have good skills up for probing, on Python you need a 1% CPU implant. When you have your skills up, um, um, then you are also really good at scanning, especially when you are going for hunting capitals and stuff. Then you like have two runs, maximum 3 runs, and that's really fast. And then you can warp already to the cap. Um, it's also working on subcaps. And the cool thing is the utility it's giving your gang is when somebody's more than like 200 kilometer away, can just drop those combat scanner probes and then warp to this dude on grid. Then you're getting dragged into the fleet commander position and then you're making a fleet warp when you have probed him. Um, I just used this injector. You can also refit a bit of a Hecate. Um, it's personal preference. I'm not gonna answer that. Sorry a bit. Uh, 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 uh. Hmm, 1 second. Welcome back. And yeah, um, another ship. Yeah, and but you can use the Hecate in your Hecate gang when you fly around in like 3 or 4 dudes, and Hecates are really straight. This is more like for kiting on a grid if you want to have one dude that is doing that with really nice range and you hitting really hard. The point is just for holding the target down if you warp to it. at zero or stuff like that. But you can also fit sensor dams, and then but then you don't have a point, so it's up to you. Because the meta in nullsec is kiting, that's why I just choose the jackdaw. Um, but it's up to you to use any T3s. It's I just wanted to say that they have also the ability. Same, also tactical destroyers. Same also goes with Proteus and stuff like that. Um, I don't have a Proteus fit in here for hunting or Loki fit or stuff or whatever. They have also the ability to have combat scanning probes with bonus, and yeah, you can also use them for hunting, for hunting and stuff. Um, Also, a very nice ship for hunting is the Ares. Uh, all Germans are gonna laugh a bit. But the Ares is an interdictor, a Galente interdictor, and interdictors have the advantage that they are have the ability to throw down a bubble. And bubble, what is that? It's like it's a probe, like from your uh, warp interdiction probe. By the way, I should also put some iron in it. Kaldari Navy iron. The cool thing about it is in this special fit it's made for hunting. Is you have an expanded probe launcher, you have a cloak on it, you have an interdiction sphere launcher. This launcher is launching probes, also it's like ammo, you launch one probe, then after a few seconds you can launch the second one, and everything that is in this 20-kilometer bubble is getting warp disrupted, so it can't warp. Especially, it's very useful against mining fleets. Yeah, if you did the hunting stuff before and maybe you warp into an ice belt, or you found stuff on an Atanor, or you had a spy alt and stuff like that, and then you warping the ship in, or you combat scanned it, and then you're warping into the mining fleet. Porpoise Orca and stuff is really fast scanned. And then you're warping to it, and then you throw a bubble, and then you have maybe the whole fleet bubbled. Uh, or also the Marauder, but be careful with that. You have a big signature radius. I can just put it on Python 1 second to show it because I don't have any interdictor skills up on this character at the moment. So you have a signature radius of 285, and 285 is a range where you can, if you have it on 5, where you can easily, way more easily getting hit by a Marauder or an Ishtar or stuff. So what you do is you launch the bubble, and then you're burning off, and then you're warping off, and then you're warping back. Same goes also for the mining fleet, and then you throwing it again. Because the mining stuff is launching drones, and those are eating your arrows. So you're warping in, launching the probe, or maybe a second probe, and then you're warping off, then you're warping back in, throw the next one and stuff. And the scram is you can use it, but be a bit careful. Also when you have Logi on grid and stuff, then we can talk about it. And yeah. The also cool reason is because the arrows you can fit a plate, and it has a bonus that um here reduction in mass penalty, so you get really nice speed out of it. And yeah, but when you have a scepter body, for example, that is then also tackling the marauder, and then you have Logi on grid, if you have stuff like that, then it's of course a whole different story, of course. But when you are the first guy doing that stuff, yeah, You can maybe send as an FC the Ares guy to go into a moon mining system if your interceptor has a scout one jump ahead or whatever. Or send this dude for a mining system in another direction, go into the other thingy. An interdictor is capable of holding down mining fleets very, very long. And you have also a probe, a cloak, so you can cloak, throw a bubble, cloak, then they have to burn out. And then you decloak, throw another bubble, then you're burning away, warping off, warping back again, throw another bubble, reload, cloak again, or whatever, or then burning out again, and then reloading the bubble, and stuff like that. Um, yeah. Also this is just it's not a few words of it. By the way, if you have problems to because of much writing, you can here reload the MOTD. Another thing is what I'm talking about is when you go into the Black Ops area. Again, there's also a Proteus. You can also have that with any T3s or stuff like that. I just put it out some fittings and ships as an example. I'm just going over Arazo are in two variations, shield and armor. It's depending on what stuff you're dropping. And with what ships, also if you have a remote rep sin and stuff like that, you can easily can maybe take the armor one because it has a really really nice remote repair. Because of the high slots, you can put in remote repairs really really nicely. And then you can choose if you want to shield or armor, or if one or the other Black Ops have some stuff. Is yeah, it's completely up to you. Um, Armor Arousal has the advantage you have a ton of points. If you need them for a mining fleet, the shield, but you're a bit slower. If there are some situations where you need some speed, you can also put in some hyperspatial rigs, but then you lose your buffer significantly. Um, you can, by the way, exchange the rigs to tier 1. These days, Tech 2 rigs really expensive. And don't worry about the CPU. Some skills of mine are lacking, but on another character I can fly it or could flew it in the past. But this is a different thingy. Then you have a shield thingy. Usually I don't like inertia stabilizers, but for that it's literally you just warping in, hunting down a target or a super or whatever. There are also with combat scanner probes out variations, and then you opening the Sino and your stuff is coming through. And the cool thing about it, it has some hyperspatial rigs, so your warp speed is kinda nice. Um, there are better fits out of it, so start searching and looking out for stuff. Start thinking over stuff. But yeah, covered Sino. And then you're opening your covered Sino, you need liquid ozone for that. And then you have a prospect fit. On prospect, you can also use the expanded probe launcher. This is one fit. And yeah, it does its job. But remember, it's a one-way ship. So you're opening your covered Sino and then you're pretty much dead. Have also good Black Ops pilots that know to conduit jump and bridging really, really fast because you're not surviving long. And yeah, you can also use T3s. I just wanted to show some ships. I'm usually using the stiletto at the moment. I'm also seeing from a stiletto. It's really fascinating. Like being a scout and hunter at the same time. But yeah, Part two will be on how to actually use the D-scan. I'm just setting up some stuff in the system at the moment. Also after the recording of the video, because I'm also uploading it on YouTube and will make it online when it's fully finished. Also the second part. And yeah, I hope I could help you a bit. Um, and I hope you get some informations out of it. I hope I could improve your life honestly as a hunter and or as an FC. And I want to make roaming great again. Roaming should be a really, really nice playstyle actually, because undocking PvP is, without saying, it's one of the best things if not the best thing in EVE Online you can do. And it's really easy to learn, and the stuff isn't even expensive. So if you're a turbo crab or whatever, try it out. Uh, or if you just have a new organization founded and you're lacking at some stuff, please keep on the ball, because the theory is easy, but it's very easy and stuff like that, and and but you need some practice to go over it and to go through some stuff, but you need some knowledge at least, and I hope I could provide it. Again, there are people that are way better than me, um, way, way, way better than me, but also doing that for a couple of years. I'm doing it for a couple of months, kinda, with that thingy. So, and I also learned from those guys the theory stuff, and yeah, I hope I could also bring Eve some content, provide people with some content. Even if you die, you do a good thing, because somebody has to rebuild it. You keep the economy running, and yeah, fly dangerous, go out, have fun, hunt stuff, getting hunted or whatever. And I wish you a very nice evening. And if we don't see us each other, I wish you a because we have the 17th December. I wish you a very nice Merry Christmas. Have fun with your family. Eat some turkey or whatever where you are all over the place. And yeah, fly dangerous. Have fun. Enjoy your life. Enjoy Eve. And uh, peace out.